Got through another week. It's hard to believe that we're in week 7 already, really week 8, week 7 for us, halfway through the season. I thought we had a good week of practice, a lot of energy out there. And, we get a chance to go on the road again, go up to the old Carrier Dome, the Dome, and get to play some football. So, questions?
What are the unique challenges of the Dome, playing indoors in general and that building in particular?
I don't know. I think it's all what you look at. It's another field. Probably the biggest challenge is always that field turf. For the health and safety of your players. Speaking of turf, that's a big topic this week. I think I'd rather slip on the grass than get caught up in the turf. The more injuries happen on artificial surfaces. So again, I'll go back to, questions probably have that question again because I had it on Monday. The grass is so much better than artificial turf. If you looked at the history and the safety of what it does. So it always scares me when you're banged up and then you got to go play on that turf. And I think it's 4 years old, so I even know how old the AstroTurf or the field turf is up there. So I think that's the main thing. Other than that, it's playing indoors. There's no wind. There's no, we don't have to worry about wet ball drills and make sure the guys got their wet gloves and their dry gloves. So I think it's being in a different atmosphere. It'll be the crowd. It'll be noise. They'll pump in music. Back in the old days, you used to, before it's been redone, I called Dino Babers the other day and said, hey, you're going to go up there and turn the heat on again? Because he used to turn the heat up. I used to try to melt you out of there. But supposedly they have air conditioning in it now, so it'll be a nice venue.
After 2 games, how do you see teams defending Mason? Do they blitz a lot? Do they guys coverage? How do they? Is it any different also from?
I think it's what people do. I think it's what people are going to do. It's like I told Coach Bell this morning. I said if it was 11 personnel, 3 wideouts, and Des Reed's in the game, I'm not sure I'd be running any man coverage. Right? People have gotten caught in some of that. I think if you had to go break it down, I'm sure their defensive staff has done a great job. And again, Fran Brown's a DB guy. He's I'm sure he's got his hands deep into that defense and what they do. There'll be some things that you probably not want to do, but everybody's going to have their different plan, right? There's not always the same plan. I think plans change based on who your personnel are and what you do. I don't think you can change it a whole bunch. They even though last year was it game 3? What did we play game 3 last year? I feel like it was game 3.
Syracuse?
Yeah, last year was it not?
In ACC, it was Halloween around.
Was it? No, it was earlier than that, wasn't it?
It's like October 24th.
It was, okay, I'm all messed up. They totally changed for us. That was a totally different look. So we've worked the look they gave us last year. Do they have the people? Do they want to do that again? Again, our offense wasn't on the field very often. We shoot with 3 pick sixes. So we really didn't get enough videotape. But we got enough of what they did, what they tried, and they do a nice job.
What are you seeing just out of Ricky Collins, the quarterback up there, coming in after their starter got injured? A guy who I think has struggled a couple games after taking the starter's gig, but what are you noticing from him?
Yeah, I think, it's what you look at it. Everybody's going to say struggle because they've lost. And, when you lose, quarterback's going to get all the heat. It ain't just the quarterback. It's everybody. Just like when we lose, it ain't just the quarterback, it's everybody. I've seen the guy get better from, his first game against Duke to his second game against SMU on the road. So you saw, what he did on the road. They took the first drive down. It looked like our 8-minute drive. They went all the way down to the 1-yard line, got stopped on 4th and 1. Okay, just like it could have been the same thing we did last week. 4th and 1, they got stopped. It's a game of inches. They're this far away from driving the ball right down the field. And again, that momentum starts to take over, and you're at SMU Stadium, and I think they're really good. I think they can run the ball. I think the Willis kid up front, running back, the front. I think they're going to try to establish a run game because they have the ability to do it with a 235-pound tailback, take some pressure off the quarterback, and then when he does throw it, the receiver's got to catch the ball. There were some drops in that SMU game, so I think he's getting better. I think he throws a great deep ball. I think he throws a tight spiral. I think he's a good player, but everybody else around you's got to get it done. And again, it's a totally different story if you're up 7-0, okay, as opposed to we didn't get it, and then they drive down the field. So. And then the next series he throws a pick, coming out, gives them they get a 10-yard score. So there's different things that happen in games and the momentum. I think in the first half they lost the ball 3 times on downs, plus a turnover. That's 4. Okay, that's 4 turnovers, period. If you want to, even though they didn't turn it over, you're giving it, a really good offense and a talented football team, short fields.
Just There's one play from last week I wanted to ask you about. It was a unique wrinkle in the second quarter, the option shovel pass to Jake Overman. I'm curious, just how advantageous is it to have like wrinkles like that you can throw at defenses, and from the defensive standpoint, what makes a play like that so difficult to defend from?
Yeah, we went back and looked at the Matt Canada offense. Chris, you know that. He won't know about that. And they pulled out a couple shovel passes. No, I mean, just it's a great wrinkle bar offense. And, every week you want to have a different kind of wrinkle of some sort. So that was one we used last week. But it doesn't work every week. It depends on who you are, what the defense is. And, again, that's where game planning, it's just game planning. How are they going to play this formation? What do we think they're going to be in? And can we execute it? So.
Syracuse has some receivers that could make a play akin to that last touchdown that Florida State had against you guys last week. How did you guys work on that this week? Because I know you expressed on Monday a little bit of frustration with that. And how do you stop it this week?
Yeah, I mean, first thing, we could be in a better coverage, and the next thing is make a play. Okay, whether it's make a play on it, get the set, make the sack, or make a play on the ball deep. We work deep ball drills all the time, so I can't tell you we did anything special. You have to make a play, and we hope we got a sack on the play, and then we're kind of boom, we're good. And then if that doesn't happen, then let's make a play down the field on the ball, not to cover the end zone. So, the ball was up in the air for a long time. You got to be able to break half the distance of that ball, leaving that quarterback's hand, and we didn't break very far.
You're at the midway point of the season. What areas of your team have you been the most satisfied with so far?
You know what? Coaching world, we're never satisfied. I can't tell you I'm satisfied in anything. We still got to improve, on offense, defense, special teams. You go from winning a football game to losing a football game, and it's all about the details. So, you don't get evaluated halfway through the season on, man, I'm excited about this, and then it looks like crap on Saturday. That, it's about consistency, I think, and we can continue to prove everywhere.
Well, what area do you feel like has been the most consistent for your team then?
I think the last 2 weeks we've been, consistent offensively, at least being two-dimensional, right? I think anytime you can be two-dimensional, run it and throw it at your will, and have success, not obviously every play, but I think, just the ability to run it and throw it and move the sticks and really I think the last 2 weeks we've won the time possession, right? I didn't know if that was capable in our offense, but I guess it is if you complete the ball.
How crucial has it been just having your offensive line be a part of that time possession, like you mentioned? Like, how crucial is their work towards getting that time possession for you?
You know what, O-block, it starts with the front all the time, and they've got a little attitude about them. So I'm happy with how they're playing, even being banged up a little bit. They've stepped up and next man up, and they've got it. And again, they're playing strong right now, so we just got to keep that going.
You had about 200 more rushing yards in the last two games than the two games before. I think you had 320 in these last two, maybe 120 against West Virginia and Louisville. Is there something you would point to there? Matchups, obviously you got Des back, but only for one of those games. Is there something you would point to of what was working better in the last two games with the run game?
I don't know, Chris. Got to go better game planning, maybe. I don't know.
I was gonna say, I think watching the game back, there were a couple times where, like, I think Kenny had a good block, up the middle on one of Jakarian's touchdowns. He blew helped spring Kenny's big catch with some blocking downfield. Just how important has skill players getting their nose in there and being good blockers been for
It's been big, and it'll continue to be big. It's something I was disappointed in, maybe the West Virginia game. Malachi catches the ball over the middle. Go back and watch the tape, and about snapped in a staff meeting. Just Malachi, it's on the one Cooper got the personal foul on, but we got guys standing around. At least Cooper was giving effort, but we had guys standing around, and that can't happen. So we've gotten better. You talk about getting better at little things. That was something the receivers have done a nice job of getting down and covering people up. You don't have to pancake anybody like an offensive lineman, but we have to. And Kenny's always been a great blocker. Kenny's always been a great blocker, but some of the other guys out there, have to give more effort at times. And you want to be an NFL receiver, you better block. Okay, you think you put that on tape, you got no shot. I don't care how many catches you have. You better be able to be a guy that can block in the run game and spring some big plays. So we've improved in that respect. So it's a good point.
What are your thoughts on just having this rivalry with Syracuse and having a team that's a little bit, obviously with the expansion of conferences, now having a team that is somewhat relatively close by and having that history there?
Yeah, I think it's great. I mean, I haven't talked a lot about, rivalry game, because, we got two big rivalries, I think, that we think of as rivalries, and, but it's an old school, old Big East rivalry, and, it's great competition. It's the ACC, so good football.
What do you make?
They got a good team.
What do you make of the ACC as a whole? I think there are like 5 teams that are still unbeaten in league play. Georgia Tech, Duke, UVA at the top. I mean, just how does the conference look to you as a whole?
From top to bottom, I think it's the best conference in the country. I've said that years ago, and I'll back it up again. I mean, that tells you, really where the conference is. I mean, I think anybody can beat anybody any given day. I think the parity is better in college football than it ever has been, and there's no easy Saturdays. I talk to high school players all the time, talking about hey, what's it look like this weekend? Oh, coach, we're gonna kill them. I'm like, when you get to college, it ain't like that. You get to the ACC, it's not like that. But in high school football, it is. And some guys think that they're going to have those weeks if you think you're good when you get to college football, but you're not going to have that.
Is the parity because of the expanded, transfer portal rules and all the NIL, or is there something else that you think is part
I
of
think
it?
that has something to do with it, maybe, because if you got a weakness, you can fix it real quick by going out and buying somebody. But it's great coaching, and I think again, the ACC, it's a speed. It's really just a speed in the conference, I think, that you have up and down the Atlantic coast.
I think half the league has like new transfer starting quarterbacks this year. Does that make it even tougher to get a feel for how the conference is going to be before the season starts, because you just have all these new guys rolling in?
I think maybe, but everybody's going to find a way to get better, right? We're all getting better. We're all going to try to find a way. If you have a weakness at quarterback or cornerback, we're going to find a way to go out and find a guy and see if we can plug a weakness and make it a strength.
Anything else?